Yes, Your Honor.
Grow
All
weight.
right. Hang on, I got sticky keys on for some reason.
Okay, we have everyone in the jury.
No, I don't want everyone. There we go. Okay, so we'll go ahead and let the prosecutors begin with your opening argument.
All right, Your Honor. The reason this case first started is a few days ago, the defendant, Mythic5739 here, followed, tortured, and imprisoned my client while she went offline because she was uncomfortable with him following. Only reason why this was brought to my attention is because it repeats his following offenses, following me down to a cave and shooting me with a bow and arrow. So this is a repeated offense.
Objection. No evidence.
Except your brother was standing with me.
Sustained.
Ugh.
And I believe that is the opening argument.
Okay.
May I speak?
No.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and let the defense have their rebuttal.
Okay. All right, thank you. So you said it was a repeated action. So I do remember that time where I was in the cave and I was pulling a harmless prank on you. But with that time, you did see me, right, Ben? I was there.
Yes.
If I recall correctly, I don't think Taya ever saw me when I was quote-unquote harassing her. Because I don't think I actually did. There's no proof of me being there. She never saw me, my name tag, or any proof that if it was tied to me specifically. So
That's because
Honor. Taya.
Wait. Go
Your
ahead.
Honor,
Go ahead.
Objection. In a Discord call following this event, Taya was talking about how lava had been poured onto her. Peyton interceded and objected, saying he put it next to her and was not trying to kill her. He has admitted to being there.
Objection evidence.
Yeah, do you have a witness for this?
Sadly, the claim is that it was Taya and Peyton were the only ones on the server at this time.
So you don't have a witness for the call either?
I was on the call, and so was Cassie.
Okay, do you want to call Cassie to the stand?
Well, she's currently out getting robbed right now.
That makes things a little bit awkward. We'll come back.
no, I'm alive.
Okay, never mind. She's back.
Your Honor, she's not present in the courtroom.
I'm looking right at her.
I apologize sincerely.
Your Honor, your eyes haven't been too good as of recent. Can I make my opening argument, Your Honor?
Yes, go for your opening argument.
Okay, I would like to call Taya to the stand as a witness.
Okay.
So, as the story goes, Peyton, apparently, what they tell me, was trolling Taya using some sort of invisibility potion because, as he said, he wasn't seen. There's no name tag seen. She still doesn't know who does it. So how do you say he managed to troll you when he was invisible, so-called?
Because he followed me into my house and placed a whole bunch of signs around it and stuff like that. And he was the only one on the server at the time. So I presumed it was him.
But did you see him?
No, because he had an invisibility potion and there was no particle effect, which is strange.
Okay, now that you all heard that testimony, I would like to make my next argument. Peyton is allergic to invisibility potions. And I would like to call my next witness to the stand, Ian, as an expert testimony.
Can that be done?
Yes.
In court of law, I am not sure if the judge themselves...
Very well. Hey, move. I'm now the witness and the judge, apparently.
Okay, so, Your Honor, Ian, from what my understanding is, you tend to be pretty decent with chemistry, am I correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, so can you read the label of this potion for me? Just the label.
Potion of invisibility.
Okay, now can I have it back? Now I'd like to call Peyton to the stand. As you have all heard, this is a potion of invisibility. Now I will give it to Peyton. Peyton,
Wait.
drink it, Kraka.
But I'm allergic to them.
Drink it.
Do you have
Do
an
you wanna
EpiPen?
get out of this case? Drink it.
Okay, I'll drink the potion of invisibility.
Your jury and your honor, he is just drunk in that potion of invisibility. And first off, he has not gone invisible, and also he's in excruciating amounts of pain as we speak. So that obviously goes to show that it would have been impossible for Taya to have been trolled while Peyton was invisible.
Your Honor, may I say something that could also pertain to a second part of this argument?
Very well, although that was a very convincing argument on their part.
Now, I would like to propose to you that while being a political matter and something not directly tied to this case, your client says that he will give the benefit to the community. He will be an amazing congressman, that he fights for the common man. If I have proof that he has his own nether portal. You have a potion of poison, mind you. A bottle can be relabeled anything with a name tag, which begs the question of how did you get it? You either got it by witch, or he's found another fortress and refused to tell the rest of the group, which in no way helps his fellow man.
Tell me, what are you freaking saying? Are you saying, how did I get a potion? I did it the same way anyone else goes to the supermarket and buys bread. I went out and I got it. I don't see how this pertains to the case whatsoever.
And, Your Honor, going back to the case at hand, I have proof that somebody, mainly Mythic here, did in fact torture my client while she went offline. If everybody will turn their attention to the evidence and the evidence channel on Discord, this is a picture. Once I got a DM from my client asking for help because she was uncomfortable, I come onto the server, she gives me her coordinates, I follow her to the location, and I find this. Now, to my knowledge, and the reason I say this is mythic, because nobody else on this server is rich enough to fill the trees with redstone. Nobody else has gone mining that much.
Objection, someone could have stolen the redstone.
I'll allow it. Continue.
Also, redstone is one of the easiest ores to get. It gives you,
And also,
along with lapis.
And also, Mythic was also saying about the trips he had been taking to the Nether and how he had found another wart forest. This man claimed, when I asked him about the invisibility potion the first time, that he made it off a nether wart from a nether wart block. I have done my research. You cannot reverse a nether wart block back into nether wart.
Objection. I don't, Ben, I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. I have never said I got wart from a nether wart block. Ben, I'm literally a Minecraft knowledge expert. Of course, I know that as well.
I'd like to call an expert to a stand. Peyton, come up to the stand. Testify and teach these fools a little bit about Minecraft knowledge. And while you're at it, Ben, why don't you tell me why someone allergic to invisibility potions would go to the Nether to craft an invisibility potion?
I do not propose he was going for it. I would propose he's going for the Nether Fortress. Hence why he did not tell anybody about his own Nether portal.
Is it illegal to go to a Nether Fortress?
Without telling the rest of the group, under the pretense of he is doing his best for the group itself, not telling anybody.
Doesn't pertain to the course. Objection doesn't pertain to the course. I think we need to get back to the main meaning of this case, and that's the fact that Taya, first off, accused Peyton of screwing with her while being invisible, when we know that is not true whenever he cannot turn invisible. And secondly, she's caused severe mental trauma to my client by doing so. Peyton, testify how she has done severe mental trauma to you by defaming your name.
Yes, so I'm sure most of you know I had a polar bear named Sam, and he was basically the ruler of my castle over there. And I don't know if any of you know, but polar bears are a symbol of greatness in the server. It's named Bear with Top Hat. So bears, I mean, are a big deal around here. And one day I log on to my server, the server, continue working on my castle, and I noticed that my polar bear is missing. And I'm not sure who it was. To be honest, I actually thought it was Braxton again. But I figured I'd ask everyone who was online at the time, and the only two people online were it was Taya and I think it was a Cassie. I don't remember. It was someone else. But I started to question Taya first. So I can I actually have a screenshot of the conversation, and I will put that in evidence channel. Let me
Well,
pull that
first
up
off,
real quick.
sorry to cut you off, Peyton, but first off, we need to establish the mental anguish you were in beforehand. So I'd like to publish an image from what occurred immediately after the events of his bear being killed and after his name was destroyed by the defamation.
Objection. The body of the bear was never found.
Objection. I have proof. But let me get to
Okay.
that later. First off, look at this image of Peyton after the traumatizing event. Can't you tell he's experienced some severe psychological pain after what they have done to him?
And
He does appear
also,
psychologically pained.
and once again, redirect yourself to evidence channel. This is a conversation with me and Taya that I had immediately upon finding out my polar bear was missing. I questioned her about it, and she seemed to basically admit to be responsible for its disappearance.
As you can see in that image, Taya does not deny the allegations whatsoever, and she seems actually kind of warm to the idea. I'm gonna say maybe is what she said. And then she also says kinda for what you did to me after Peyton said, "Are you sure you didn't do anything to it?" Which, not gonna lie, sounds kind of suspicious, especially with someone who's been accusing someone of attacking her attacking her while being invisible whenever this man cannot even turn invisible in the first place, which shows some mega psychological problems inside her head. So first off, accuse him of harassment whenever he did do no such thing, and then immediately afterward, kidnap, kill, make his bear disappear, whatever it was that caused severe psychological pain to my client, with no proof of him doing anything.
Your Honor, objection, hearsay. The witness on stand was not there when the bear was gone. He has no proof that it was my client.
Your Honor, it is ridiculous after looking at the screenshot of what Taya was saying. She was not objecting to the point whatsoever, and she seems quite warm to the idea. And I also have some evidence that maybe she did have something to do with the bear disappearing. Everyone avert your attention back to the evidence channel where I have some interesting developments. What is in their house? What is in Taya and Christian's house specifically?
That would be 2 polar bears.
So, she had nothing to do with the kidnapping of 2 polar bears immediately after she accused my client of wrongly attacking her while invisible, allegedly, and then she steals her bears as, an attack against him, a counterattack after her schizophrenic episode of what I could only imagine. Then 2 bears end up in her house. What do you have to say about that prosecution?
What I have to say is, A, that is not their house anymore. It is house in a village. If you look out the window here to that house on the hill, that is Christian and Taya's house. You have old information that is no longer accurate to the case at hand.
They show up in his old house that still has correlation and connection to Taya and
Gentlemen, I'm going to
Christian.
have to stop you right here. What is this court case about? We have covered many, many things, yet none of them have anything to do with each other.
Let me bring my charges against these 2. They've attacked us. I'll let them explain what they're attacking us for. But what I'm saying they're attacking us for is they've defamed my client. They have psychologically harmed my client. And not to mention, they've psychologically harmed my client by defamation and kidnapping his bear.
Very
Defendant, I am sorry, but your argument is as good as Amber Heard's lawyers in the previous court sessions
That's
this
some
last
fun
year.
semantics, but tell me how it is.
Because again, you have no proof that any psychological damage has been done to this man. He was perfectly fine leading up to this court case for the full hour he has been in this call
Dante, please
before.
remain on your side of the court.
Objection to that. Ben, the thing about psychological trauma is, with me, I try to hide all the pain. I try to let people know that I'm A-okay. but deep down, almost every second of the day, I
Will
think
the
about
defendant
Sam.
please stay on their side of the courts?
Look at the
Nearly every
screenshot
second,
again.
nearly every second of the day, I think about Sam, my beloved polar bear. I can't imagine a world without him, but I hide that from all of you because I care about you people the most, and I don't want to let you think that I'm down. I don't want to let you think that I'm hurt. I want to be the best that I can be, even in the dark times. Thank you.
Your Honor, the original reason as to why this court is in session and our original claim was to the fact of Mythic here trapping my client in that box of torture. My main point is nobody else on the server has the capability, the motive, as in his previous experience of trolling.
Objection, what is the motive?
Motive
I
What
agree.
does he
that
have
I'd
to
like to
gain?
know what the motive is specifically.
Yeah, actually, I'd like to add to that. Ben, I'd like to bring back to what you said earlier of how I'm focused on community. And I agree on that. I am focused on the community. I care about my people. So why on earth would I attack an innocent person? It's not like me. It's not who I am, Ben.
I
You said it
my,
yourself. I'm focused on community.
I can speak to it myself. I am an unbiased opinion here, considering the fact that I'm running against him currently in an election, and I can tell you he is probably one of the best candidates for this election because of what he has done for the community. He is a kind, loving, giving person, and you're telling me that he attacked this person while being invisible whenever he can't even do that, and you've given no evidence for why. And also, you say that he was the only person capable of building this death trap for Taya, but I would say that first off, considering how mentally disturbed Taya can be for assuming that first off he would attack her whenever he cannot even go invisible. And also, frick, where was that thought going? Ian, tell me where my thought process was going.
I'm honestly not sure.
Judge, may we allow someone in the jury to speak?
Very well.
I would
Miss-
just like to ask a question to Mythic.
Sure.
Little unorthodox, but I'll allow it.
Okay. Tell me, what have you done for the community? Because you live hundreds of blocks away.
Well, I don't live hundreds of blocks away. I'm neighbors with Ben's castle. And
Objection, irrelevant.
in the first few days,
What do you mean irrelevant,
um,
you prick?
in the
Irrelevant.
first few days,
The question being, what
I-
has he done for the community?
I can tell you, I can name everything I've done for the community,
I
Ben.
will allow it.
So let's see. I have given to the poor. I gave Emily a diamond. I have supported local shops. I've bought a lot of Christian cobblestone for a fair price. I have cleaned up I've cleaned up spawn. I literally fixed a creeper hole earlier, and I've lit up the whole area to prevent monsters from killing the innocent people. And I've just been donating materials. I helped with the floor of this building and the glass. So that's just a list. That's just a few of the things that I've done.
Judge,
Most of
may
those
I
things were
ask?
actually today.
Judge, may I ask? Were you not the one to light up the interior of the wall, light up the surrounding area as you and I were building it?
Ben, objection, Your Honor. I'm talking about our current surrounding area. If you look out the window, nearly the whole terrain is covered with torches. and I did
Objection
that
again.
earlier.
None of this pertains to the case. Your court is a joke, Your
I
Honor.
will-
Can you get the reins in here, please?
Very well. If it does not have anything to do with the psychological damage caused to Mythic, or the psychological damage caused to TornadoCats, it is not involved in this court case. It will not be mentioned. Next person will get hit with a shovel.
I agree. And I would like to state that, first off, she caused severe mental trauma to my client here after she defamed his character. And let me tell you something. After she defamed his character, I didn't even want him to be my client. I was disgusted by the accusations until he told me how he could not have possibly done so. She mentally destroyed him in that sense. And I still don't even know how those structures that so-called tortured you even got there. I'm leaning to believe that she is schizophrenic in a sense, because that's the only way that could have possibly happened, if she believed an invisible being is somehow torturing her by some sense of the word. It's completely and utterly ridiculous, but I think that Taya honestly needs psychological evaluation, and I think it's a great sign by our government officials to, why are you shooting guns in the courtroom? It's assigned by our government officials to build some sort of psyche ward to help schizophrenics like Taya that believe invisible monsters are going around torturing her. Not to mention that schizophrenia has caused her to kidnap my client's bear and cause even more psychological trauma.
Dante, I would like to know why you are not objecting to the accusations of your client having schizophrenia.
Maybe because it's true.
I am letting this fool of an attorney finish his sentence before I speak.
Mm-hmm. Tell me how I'm wrong.
Do you have any mental from a doctor? Do you have a doctor's note that, and has it been proven that A, my client has schizophrenia, B, schizophrenia or not, I can go to every single government official in this area. No one built that ward for her. It happened while she was offline. Somebody followed her out there against her will and built that around her.
Objection, you don't understand my argument. I'm saying she built that herself out of her own schizophrenia to protect herself from the demons inside her head.
Building that.
Stealing the resources, perhaps? I mean, I could walk
attorney,
in the house right now.
Back on your side.
Not since no one else is going to say it, I'm going to object to the accusation of schizophrenia, and I'm going
evidence.
to...
You're asking the judge for evidence.
If you have evidence...
She believes that an invisible man was torturing her, placing signs around her, and you say she has no mental issues whatsoever. I think that goes along with schizophrenia quite well. I've been studying psychology today, and schizophrenia happened to be the topic that made me connect the dots. She is, first off, delusional and has a ton of issues. I could tell you that for sure. If she believed that someone, first off, was torturing her, and that the proper response to that torturing of an imaginary person was to kidnap someone's bear to add even more psychological damage onto my client.
Dante, TornadoCats, do you have a defense to this accusation? It seems to have... The court seems to have flipped around here. I'm not sure who's the plaintiff and who's the defendant anymore.
The amount of torture I went through as he was following me was unbearable. When I logged back in and saw that torture chamber around me with the words pain and help written in red lettering, it almost made me have a panic attack. I was so afraid for my life. And then when I stepped out and seen all this fire and just horrific things...
Wait,
objection to that.
Wait. Can I say one thing, Peyton, as your lawyer? Here's the deal, Taya. I believe you. I think that you were going through a lot.
No, you don't.
No, I do believe you.
Go back to your side of the courtroom or you get hit with a shovel.
Sorry. I do believe you. You did go through lots of psychological trauma, but that psychological trauma could not have been caused by my client. I think that you have a mental condition and you need mental health. I think you have schizophrenia, Taya. I'm sorry to tell you, but he could not have been there. He cannot have gone invisible. It was impossible for him to do so.
Again, there is no medical note or doctor's judge. Again, there is no note or any indication of my client actually having schizophrenia besides the attorney's accusations.
Objection.
Which are biased.
Does he even have a law degree?
Jake, so I was just listening to your story, Tornado Cat, and you said, correct me if I'm wrong, you said there was a sign in there that said help on it?
Yeah, it said help. There was one with help, there was one with pain, and along the walls was a bunch of symbols and writing, and inside of there spelled HELP all along the walls.
Well, I've taken a few psychology classes before, so I can analyze this. I think you were in a crazed state and wrote help all over the walls as a distress signal. And you wrote pain to describe what you were currently going through. You were going through pain as you were in a mentally unhinged state, and no one could help you.
Objection.
I think that's why
there is no proof to any of this. It is just their biased accusations.
Objection. He has still not proven how she's mentally sane whatsoever. There is no doctors on the server, so we cannot give these diagnoses. Obviously, I do not have a doctor's note.
You have not provided any evidence that she is insane.
Any evidence she thinks an invisible person was following her around and putting a bunch of signs up to torture her.
Order!
Okay, Your Honor.
TornadoCats, is this invisible person in the room with us right now?
Yes. Wait a minute.
Your Honor,
No.
she's insane, Your Honor. Does anyone else hear this? She's actually insane, and she's traumatized my patient or my client.
I am traumatized. The amount of time I spent in my house just crying has made me go delusional.
That doesn't change the fact
Not
you
my
killed
fault.
an innocent man's bear.
She just
You made me delusional. You made me delusional. You
No,
did this
she
to
did
me.
not.
You
She
did
did not. You say you say he made you delusional by your schizophrenia, making you delusional.
No!
Your Honor, may I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead.
Taya, this is something that we have not discussed yet because I haven't brushed up on the topic. Have you been to the Nether?
No. I've never been to the Nether.
Your Honor, at the scene of the crime, in the exact photo that I have given, there are netherwart blocks in place of the tree.
Hearsay.
It is in the photo. It is not hearsay.
Objection. Again.
Anyways, let me finish my thought. I've let you guys have more than your fair share of talking time.
Because you have no points, Ben.
Because I have had conversations with Mythic. He has talked to me about this red forest in the Nether. Nobody else, have I heard, has found this place yet. In fact, the only other people I know that have been into the Nether are Braxton and Cassie themselves, and I have both asked them directly if they had been to a red forest, and they have not. Your Honor, regardless of whether or not the crazy claims that my client went into Mythic's castle, stole these blocks, and then trapped herself to frame him, there is no motive behind the initial attack. Why would my client, under no previous offenses, go into your castle, trap herself, and then kill your polar bear in retaliation?
Objection.
There is no reason.
No, Jake. Jake, let me say
I'm your lawyer, dog.
I will answer to some of those. Well, it's because I have personal experience from
I mean, I also have like a counter argument.
Okay, well, you say it after me. So then I'll answer to some of those things you said. You mentioned that I had mentioned what are they called, a crimson forest, but I'd never actually been to one of those. I've mentioned them, and I could have passed it by while I was traveling, but I'd never said I went into one of them.
Except I found a path that you created that led straight to one.
Your Honor, objection. This does not pertain to the case whatsoever. Let's go back to your original point, Ben, of Taya never going to the Nether. I never said she did go to the Nether, and you also wanted me to establish a motive for why she would have attacked Peyton's bear. Well, that's kind of obvious. She's a schizophrenic lunatic that wanted to attack his bear because she thought an invisible version of him was tormenting her somehow by creating some monstrosities that we still haven't established a motive for Peyton doing.
But regardless, again, the very foundation of your argument is that she has schizophrenia. There is no proof. Because here's the thing, Jake. Chill. You're saying that she would have had schizophrenia by claiming somebody was chasing her. There is no proof, and there is no reason to say that if she was having these delusions, why would she get blocks to trap herself in some place and then accuse specifically Mythic? She could claim it was anybody in this room, but my client is certain that it is yours.
Your Honor, first off, schizophrenic people have lots of issues whenever it comes to reasoning in their minds. Their brains are underdeveloped. Typically in childhood, they suffer
and
mental
now you're
trauma.
Insulting my client.
I'm not insulting your
client.
He's
not wrong.
I'm sticking to the facts.
That is an accurate fact for schizophrenic people. Maybe not necessarily towards your client, but as a general statement, schizophrenic people typically do have underdeveloped brains in certain areas.
And here's the
deal.
deal.
I do not have schizophrenia. I've been to the doctor. I have ADHD and OCD. There is no part of it that I have schizophrenia.
You have undiagnosed schizophrenia, Taya. You hear those voices ringing in your ears right now?
Taya, yeah, it's you.
You're losing the case. You're losing the case, Taya. You hear those voices?
What did I say?
You hear those voices?
Back on your side.
My bad, Your Honor. But
Jake, we need to talk about Jake.
Your Honor, these are
Your Honor, I'm feeling
allegations.
threatened.
Honor,
We
these
had this
Your Honor,
conversation
she's
in the first
insane.
have been
face.
made by people who are barely on the server and barely have contact with my client. Why not let's ask some people in the jury who are constantly with my client? Take Cassie, for example, who has taken Taya into her house multiple times. Ask them if they've seen any signs of this air quotes schizophrenia.
And
Are you
also,
calling Cassie to the stand?
I'm calling Cassie and I'm calling MRAD 15 as both of them have had extensive contact with my client.
Where do I go?
The witness stand right here.
Okay.
Okay, you have your witness.
Cassie, I'm not even going to do this. Too late for this. Cassie, you, yes or no, have you not let Taya sleep in your house many a times while the service been active?
Yes, we've had at least 20 sleepovers.
And at any point, have you seen her exhibit any schizophrenic behavior or have felt threatened by her?
No, sir. She's also my future business partner. We've been building together. In fact, we built the whimsical mushroom inn over there together, and I saw no signs of schizophrenia, sir.
objection. Can I speak to the witness, please, Your Honor?
Very well.
Okay, so Cassie, I understand Taya's your friend. She's my friend too, and I want what's best for her as well. I want her to have psychological health, but we need to look at the facts here. I understand that she typically most of the time is fine, but that can be the same for high functionally schizophrenic people. The thing is, we need to still explain why she believes an invisible person was following her around and tormenting her somehow whenever the only other person on the server cannot even go invisible. So even still, we need to explain what happened in that episode that caused her to do that and then attack my client.
Okay, so do I say something now?
Yeah. Go
Okay.
for it.
Yeah, so there's no evidence that there was or that there was not an invisible person, but based on my experiences with TornadoCats, she's never been schizophrenic, and the accusations they were putting on her will cause more mental harm than there is already, and she doesn't have schizophrenia, so...
That's not evidence.
And Your Honor, I can also say one more piece of evidence that I was sadly not able to get a picture of, but I can go back to the scene of the crime and go get a picture of at a later date. There is a cobblestone jump path leading to and from the crime scene, initiating or meaning that my client was not the only person there. My client actually did not know how to make a cobblestone path. I have watched her try and fail at many times.
Objection, Your Honor.
So
So he's
a
saying
Java player would know exactly how to do that.
This is true. I cannot run jump.
Objection, Jake. Jake,
I'm terrible at
Wait, I have a...
PvP.
Okay, fine. You're paying me, but do my job for me. Go ahead, please.
No,
Jake,
I just,
one moment, Cassie. Thank you for your time. You're allowed to go back to your seat.
Thank you.
Ah, swag.
I do. I'm only taking Jake's position in this objection because I do remember Ben mentioning this the other day, and it's kind of absurd for him to claim that only Java players can do that. Looking down and placing blocks while running is the easiest thing to do. You would just do this.
And to add on to that, Your Honor, if she is cognitively well, she should be able to do something as simple as what Mythic has just said. But obviously the schizophrenia is spreading. I'm not a doctor. I've never claimed to be, but obviously there's something not right going on up there.
For clarification for the court, you are saying that you having jump paths are simple enough anyone can do it, correct?
I don't even know what a jump path is, but I reckon I could do it.
Your Honor, counterpoint, they have had many hours in Java and Bedrock playing Bed Wars and many other sweaty game modes that would require you to have such knowledge.
Okay, objection. So
Here.
Also want to talk.
Here's some dirt. I want both of you to do it or attempt to do it.
Okay, well no. Also, Ben, I want to ask. So you're claiming that I was there at the scene of the crime, responsible for Taya's traumatic episode. So why would I, if I was there, why would I leave more evidence that I was there? Why would I leave more blocks lying around that I was there? If I did do it, I'd want to cover my tracks. make it to where it can't be traced back to me. It makes no sense that I'm just, instead of walking around a lake, I'd go through it with cobblestone. It just leaves more clues to find. It doesn't make sense.
Objection. Every single time you have done this, you have gone under the assumption that whatever you have done would have no consequences. Hence, the only other time you've trolled in the past, you showed yourself after shooting an arrow at me specifically, threatening an attorney of the law, but you felt there would be no consequences, so you showed yourself.
Objection here,
Why
sir.
then would it be reasonable to
okay.
assume?
Overruled.
Okay,
Ben,
Ben.
you're getting a little too accusatory here.
Ben,
If I could get both the plaintiff and the defendant to attempt to jump and place blocks at the same time, please.
Jump and place
Ben,
blocks
also,
at the same
Ben,
time.
also, you say that I show myself after my pranks. You're correct. When I shot you with a bow, I did reveal myself. You saw my name tag, you saw my character. But when Taya supposedly saw me harassing her, there was no sign of me. You couldn't see me. There was no sign of my name tag. I was never there. It's because she was imagining it.
You schizophrenic.
If I did do the prank, I would have revealed myself. to her,
Please
but I
back to your
didn't do
side
it.
of the court.
What I'm
Please
saying
perform
is,
the jumps.
I just did.
Not that jump. The walk.
You-
I don't know what we're talking about. What is this?
okay. If
Teach
you're
me,
let's
teach
let's
me.
let's say this spruce floor is water. You literally just hold down.
Oh. Yeah. Oh.
It's
Yeah, that's. Oh, you got
Very
to show
well.
Thanks, Your Honor.
I'm fairly
Will
certain
TornadoCats please perform this action?
I'm fairly certain it's only difficult to do it if you're on mobile.
To be
If you're on-
warned, I've
if
never
you're on-
done this before.
That is for the court to decide.
Your Honor. Your Honor. Your Honor, she's not mentally well, Your Honor. Your Honor,
Here,
we need a psyche evaluation quickly.
I have very
What I'm-
bad
but,
hand-eye coordination.
Back to what I'm saying is, if I was responsible for that prank, I would have showed myself today. I would have said, haha, funny pranks, similar as what I did to Dante. But I did not do that prank that Taya is accusing me of, and that's why I did not reveal myself. I was never there to begin with. It is simply all a delusion.
But you said you put the lava on top of my head.
Objection. Can we wind this
I have
case
no memory
down?
of
It's
saying
getting this is getting absurd, Your Honor. We've gone
I
from
agree.
40 different topics, and I've already proven several times that she's not mentally well. She's also
You have not
kidnapped.
proven anything, attorney.
She
I
thinks invisible people are attacking her. She can't place blocks underneath her feet. I think she's not. She needs to get something checked out.
I would like to take a moment here to ask, what does the plaintiff want in this case? If they win, what are they wanting?
I want Taya in a freaking psyche ward. I want 20 diamonds as reprimandations for
Sir, you are the defense here.
Close enough. I want 20 diamonds. I want 20 diamonds paid to my personal bank account for the psychological damage caused to my client. I think that is fair.
Your
Also
Honor,
agree with that.
as the plaintiff here, we want nothing but the truth. Any punishment or any recommendation, anything that comes out of this will be from the community to decide themselves. Me and my client have no agendas we are trying to promote or consequences we are trying to bring upon them.
Objection. I'm also trying to bring about psychological health in this Minecraft community.
Very well.
I just want
If-
people to be safe.
Everyone's. I also think that Taya. Community is my key word. I want everyone here to be safe, happy, have everything they need.
Stop
And-
campaigning.
Very well. We're going to
Here.
stop showboating here. And if I could get the plaintiffs to give their closing argument, followed by the defendant.
At
If
the end of the
plaintiff will
day,
go first.
I could not hear plaintiff or defendant.
Plaintiff goes first. Go ahead.
At the end of the day, there have been no concrete evidence that my client is mentally ill. She came here of her own accord, with the truth that she has. I would like to point out that they have had several days, and there is someone in the audience here who has been on Discord calls with them for multiple hours. They have had enough time to either A, come up with a plausible story, or come up with a defense that is for people to decide amongst themselves. All my client wants is peace of mind.
Can we stop talking about
Very
Tim?
well.
Okay. I will also.
Wait. I'm.
Fine,
Can I do the
fine,
closing
go.
argument, please?
Go. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. You can talk immediately after me. I love you. Okay. So, Taya is obviously mentally ill. She's demonstrated this by believing that invisible creatures are following her around and tormenting her, and she's built devices or constructs to protect herself from these thoughts in her head. And she believes these thoughts in her head are from my boy Peyton here. And Peyton obviously cannot have done that because he cannot go invisible due to his allergies. Furthermore, out of defense, I suppose, in her decrepit mind, she believed it would be a good idea to kidnap his bear for whatever freaking reason to try and get back at the voices in her head. So she kidnapped his bear, caused immense psychological trauma and damage to my client here. Not to mention the defamation charges upon my client has also defamed his name during an election season. That's quite expensive to destroy someone's name with an accusation with no evidence during an election season. So, Your Honor, I just seek a little bit of payment in return for what has happened to my client psychologically, and I also look out for the psychological health of the plaintiff here because she also needs help. You know, everyone does.
Your
Very
Honor,
well.
may I say one
wait.
last thing to the jury themselves?
Make
Before
it
we
very short. We're trying to wrap things up here.
I'll wrap it up as well.
It is a proven fact that Taya did not kidnap the first bear. The second time is an allegation. Braxton has fessed up to it. So is it entirely out of the question that Braxton would do it twice and Taya would vouch for him and try and cover out of love for a friend?
Well, I will
rest
add
my
to
case.
that. So basically, this whole court case, it's mainly been about he said, she said. For most of it, there's been no concrete evidence. It's been mainly
Very
speculation
much.
but there is one case that there is concrete evidence for, and that is the fact that my polar bear was missing and that Taya is the main suspect. We can see this in the evidence channel with her basically admitting to it by conversation and a picture of the polar bear found in a house that was once associated with Taya. So that is concrete evidence. So if anything, it is basically confirmed that she was tied to stealing my polar bear. That was my prized possession, and I was mentally traumatized for it. And I just hope that I can recover from it.
It's
That's
okay, buddy. It's okay, buddy. We'll get through this.
Very well. Does the jury have anything to add before I give my verdict? I'm gonna take
Wait,
this.
can I?
Yeah, go
Wait,
ahead.
can I just ask okay. Wait, Mythic, you believe in the health of the people, right? Like psychological health of the people? Since you're advocating for Taya to get help if she does have schizophrenia.
I guess so. My main campaign is that I want to help anyone with whatever they need, whether that's food, resources, and I guess in Taya's case, mental health. So I guess yes. I guess you could say that.
Okay. So this doesn't actually have anything to do with the court case. But do you plan on contributing to a community psych ward?
If that is what the community
Just like you've
needs, then I will-
contributed to the community inns and the community villager trading hall and the community adventurers guild?
Objection. This doesn't pertain to anything, Your Honor.
I know it doesn't.
Overruled.
And yeah, I'm not even president yet. I'm saying when I am president, I will contribute to whatever the town needs.
Very
But
well.
for now, I'm doing the small things that I can.
In the allegation of the stolen polar bear, I do find Taya guilty after admitting herself to being delusional. It is very hard to deny a claim when the plaintiff themselves admit that they were delusional at that moment. However, I do believe she was delusional because of an attack of an invisible man, which, with the evidence provided and the interesting defense, I must believe that
It's okay, Taya. It's all right.
the plaintiff is correct in
Your
the
bullcrap.
accusation.
Honor. Oh my gosh.
And additionally, it was not asked for it, but they are also going to be awarded for defamation against her character for being called
What?
schizo.
What the
on
frick?
multiple occasions.
Give me evidence that she's not schizophrenic, Your Honor.
Oh,
Give me some freaking evidence.
I don't associate with him.
Trash taken out. I'm going to bed.
Okay then. They're also facing an additional charge for attempting to kill the judge.
Myself in court, represent myself.
Your Honor, I say that proves their guilt more than anything.
Yes, I was
Case
originally
already
going
decided.
to
Case
award the
already
defendant.
decided. Case already decided.
Are you serious?
I was originally going to award the defendant a new polar bear. However, after that
Dang.
action, I'm voiding that.
This is
Um,
bull crap, Your Honor.
We are eventually.
I didn't endorse that at all. I didn't.
However, you did hire this lawyer.
Yeah, but,
And I'm still getting my legal fees paid to me
I'm
in
sorry,
full.
but you did hire him to
would-
represent you.
And I won the argument.
I would go to your attorney about getting a new polar bear, as he kind of flubbed this on you.
You can have them back.
Yeah, I'm
I don't
literally
want them.
walking to your house right now.
We are effectively even at this point. There's no need for anyone to exchange anything other than the polar bears. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Your Honor. Taya?
And
I'm gonna go
Jake,
cry myself
we
to
will
sleep.
Jake, we
Bye.
will work on a future court date for your attempted murder of the judge.
Bull crap arguments. Where's your judgment, Your Honor? I think you're schizophrenic too.
I would suggest getting an attorney and not representing yourself.
I can represent myself just fine if I have a proper judge.
Very well. I'm gonna collect your stuff so it doesn't despawn. I'm out of storage space.
By the way, neither of your polar bears were harmed. I just moved them. That's it. You can have them back.
I'm toting him to his house right now.
I wasn't asking you.
I represent him though, so
You legitimately almost won that case. You
I
just-
still don't see how I did not, to be honest.
Something about having to execute the lawyer.
Wait, execute the? What did I say? Execute the lawyer.
Oh, you didn't. However, the attempted murder, we kind of had to.
Oh, that part, yeah. No, I was talking about how I
Stepped in
did not prove that Taya was schizophrenic. I mean, did you not see the potion? The
The potion was very, very nice. It was a nice addition. I think I got all your stuff.
Thanks. I like how that was the only part no one questioned the potion.